Hello and welcome to ICSM's latest news with me, Harry Mottram. In this bulletin, Phoenix companies get professional help, the return of the dodgy print farmer from Barry, the state of the print industry in its autumn trade shows, and give your non-payers a Halloween fright with ICSM credits and debt collectors. Plus, who has hit the wall this autumn as big names hit the deck? First, there is nothing more annoying for creditors of an ailing company to discover the business is closed down one day and reopen the next under a new name, dumping the debts. There are firms that now openly tout for business, offering struggling companies a path out of impending insolvency with offers of pre-packaged administration and pre-packaged liquidations. They claim that these can lead to a secure, seamless transfer of the business to a new debt-free Phoenix company using a company voluntary arrangement, a CVA, for as little as £2,500. For directors of companies who are losing sleep worrying about how their firm can survive another cash flow crisis, the temptation can appear too great. Of course, there are firms that use the legal path of pre-packs as they were designed to find a buyer while under administration, all above board. But a note of caution for those considering a pre-pack: many creditors will refuse to accept them on the basis that they see pre-packs as the 21st century name for Phoenix deals. And speaking of Phoenixes, the Clyde of the Bonnie and Clyde of the print industry, Ian Malcolm Stewart John, is once again back in business with his dodgy websites. Despite being banned as a director from any company or business back in July by the court in Manchester. So you've been warned. He trades under names like the book printer, magazine printer, a variation of names, but watch out for him because he's taken a lot of money off a lot of printers. Next, administrators looking into the filed accounts of Callprint have deployed forensic accountants as part of an investigation prior to the firm's entry into administration. Writing in the newly redesigned Print Week magazine, Joe Francis said, according to the latest progress report to creditors by Philip Duffy and Benjamin Wiles of Duff and Phelps, the joint administrators have identified several transactions prior to the administration that require further investigation. For the full story, see the latest edition of the magazine Print Week. Now, Halloween is nearly upon us, and here is Paul Carrot with a spooky debt-collecting story.
As we're approaching Halloween and it becomes a time of year for horror stories to be shared, I thought it poignant to share one of our more tactful collections and a horror story of our own. There's a horror story for the debtor, mind, not for us, as it paid off for us and our client. Last October, we secured judgment for one of our clients against a debtor who'd employed a number of the previously mentioned tactics to avoid paying the debt that they owed. They had even admitted the debt in writing previously prior to it going to court. Now, the final judgment was a sum of just under 10k. And they were obviously quite well off. In fact, they had a couple of luxury cars on their driveway, which Google Earth helped give us some evidence towards, and was subsequently backed up by a visit from one of our agents. Which was a bit of a giveaway, I think, just a couple of luxury cars on the drive. He thought he could dump the unpaid invoices, having used a number of different virtual office addresses for the business in order to avoid harassment from other creditors. I believe he owed money to a lot of people at the time, including HMRC, and had become increasingly difficult to get in touch with. After an in-depth trace, we did manage to locate the director's home address. And we arranged for one of our enforcement agents to make an out-of-hours attendance at this address sometime around 7 p.m. on Halloween night. The reason being, or the assumption being, that they'd get an influx of kids playing trick-or-treat. So we thought we'd play our own game of trick-or-treat. Subsequently, the agent turned up at around 7 p.m. on Halloween night, and lo and behold, the door was answered. The agent gained peaceful access by the director's wife, as she was home alone at the time with the kids, which meant he could gain access next time if he needed to. and he carried out a HPI check on the cars that were on the driveway. It turned out one of them we couldn't touch, but one of them was actually owned by the business. The wife was quite distraught at this point in time, and she managed, after a couple of attempts, to get hold of him on the mobile. I think a few choice words were exchanged, and subsequently she put him on to our enforcement agent, who took a payment of half the debt over the phone by credit card and received a promise of the remainder the next day. Now, obviously, we've heard that before, so the agent still put a Control of Goods Act into place and a levy on the vehicle until such time as the debt was paid in full. Now, the next day, lo and behold, he paid in full. The judgment was settled and everyone went away happy. That is our idea of a good trick-or-treat.
In September, I visited two print-orientated trade shows to meet ICSM associates and see the latest innovations in the industry. First up was the Packaging Innovation Show in Olympia, London. It is a vast exhibition with large sections on food and beverage packaging, which is an industry in its own right. It's also a growing market, with more packaging being created to market an ever-growing list of products. Plastic is the chosen material for much of the industry, but with a growing consumer appetite for alternatives, the plastic-free zone was of interest. One product on display was what appeared to be plastic, but was in fact potato starch and clearly compostable. The print show at the NEC is the UK's only dedicated trade show for the print industry. Organised by the folk behind Print Monthly magazine, the exhibition had a pinball theme, and you could even win a competition to win one of these iconic machines. Gareth Ward of Print Business magazine had a stand, as did the publication Digital Printer, while Print Monthly magazine also featured a large presence, and I met up with the team at the IPA. With Brexit always on the news, it is wise to be prepared. One simple action that firms can take is to insert into their terms and conditions and new contracts a Brexit clause to protect them in the event of major problems. Brexit proofing, as it's come to be called, is as simple as including a line making reference to material adverse changes and indicating prices may need to be adjusted if we do leave the EU. Now, the harsh winds of the economy have taken their toll on many firms, including the spectacular collapse of the 178-year-old travel firm Thomas Cook this summer, and there are mounting concerns over another famous name, Pizza Express. In the print world, the biggest names to go include Latimer Trend and Quinn's Belfast Limited, known as Quinn's the Printer, with other names to catch the eye include Creative Print and Merge Solutions Limited, Deluxe Printers Limited, Douglas Printers Limited, the Carlton Press, Sheffield Limited and the print company Northwest Limited. Quite a list. And in the print finishing sector, Cirencester Print Finishes Limited have come to an end. The signage and graphics industry has also had its casualties, with the Sign and Graphics Company Limited hitting the buffers. And in the stationery and office supplies division, the Great Northern Envelope Company came to an end when liquidators were appointed. The haulage and courier industries have not been immune to problems. In London, Linked Couriers entered liquidation, and Ware Transport Birmingham Limited, based at the airport, also has come to an end. Well, that's all for now, but do contact Ian and Paul at ICSM. For details, call them on 0844 854 1850 or visit the website www.icsmcredit.com. Thanks for watching and see you next time.